So when we think about the creation, when we think about Genesis and God creating the world and God creating people, we get a picture in the garden. We get a picture of amazing fruit trees, bushes, plants that are yielding their fruit in season. And Adam and Eve are given one commandment, just one rule. Everything else was free and open to them. And that one rule was to not to eat the fruit of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Well, for some reason, we've been told, or it's been passed down, that that was an apple. Today, I want to let you have a glimpse into how God can take even our sin, even the things that separate us, and redeem them, to bring beauty from ashes, to bring light into darkness, and to bring an aroma, a flavor, a taste. God wants you to taste and see that He is good. So come join me at the table every episode to learn more about who God is, how much He loves you, and how He wants you to taste and see His goodness. Thanks for joining me at the table. So today I'm going to make some applesauce. These are some apples from my tree. Some of them are pretty rough, kind of squishy, not ideal for eating, but ideal and just fine for making applesauce. Remember, when we're talking about God's work in our life, we need to let go of that idea of perfection. Like these waxed red apples that are made to look so delicious, when in reality, when you bite them, they're kind of mushy, not that great. God's calling for us to be completely real, completely who we're supposed to be in Him. And the only way we can do that is not by us shining ourselves up or only showing the good parts, but literally allowing Him to bring out the goodness, even in the mush, right? In spirit and in truth. That's what He wants from us. So let's make that happen with some delicious applesauce. I'm going to chop these up, and I'm really not a stickler for exact sizing, even though it's probably better to get them generally about the same size so that when they're cooking down, they cook down about the same time. So I'm just going to rough chop these and get a pile. So if you want, at this time during the video, you could go grab some apples if you have some on a tree. If you have some that your kids or your family or you have not been eating and they're kind of sad and sorry, it's okay. Bring them in and you can chop with me. All right, so my pot is full. I like all the colors. Again, some are mushy because they've seen better days. And I've got probably 3 varieties in here. And don't worry about this part because this is going straight to my chickens. So with the applesauce, there is moisture in the fruit, but you don't want to rely on that. So I'm going to put some water just straight out of the tap. So we have a saying in Armenian. It's called achki chop. That means to measure with your eye. So, I mean, put some water in there. I've probably got about 1 inch at the bottom of the pot. You're going to watch it and make sure that you're not scorching your apples at the bottom. I've got mine on medium to medium low because of the pot that I'm using. It just spreads heat a little bit more fluidly, so I can use a lower temperature. But you really want to watch these because you don't want to burn them. Okay, so this has been about 13 minutes, and every minute or so before, I would just walk over and stir. As you can see, everything's getting a little bit mushy. You might be wondering why on earth I left the skins on, that's not going to be so delicious and maybe get caught in your teeth. All the nutrients, well, a lot of nutrients are actually in the skin of fruits and vegetables. So as much as possible, I leave them on. Yeah, I don't peel my carrots. I'm like that. Also, besides water, I didn't add anything else. If you look at a jar of applesauce in a grocery store, you are likely to see all manner of things, including but not limited to sugar or high fructose corn syrup, colorings, additives, preservatives. This applesauce is good to go just like this, or I add one secret ingredient that adds a lot of good health properties, but also great aroma and deliciousness and flavor. And you probably know that would be cinnamon. So I'm just gonna to taste or to smell. I like cinnamon, so I wish you could smell this. And since I was a kid, I wanted to invent / bring back smell-o-vision. It actually was a thing, I think, in the 50s. And especially with cooking anything, I feel like there should be a way to deliver the smell and the actual food straight to you so you can try it. All right, this is looking good to me, but I don't leave it chunky. You could, if you like, and serve this with pork chops or, oh yeah, Brady Bunch, pork chops and applesauce. But I actually am gonna puree this, and I'll show you how I do that. All right, so I'm gonna turn the heat off. I'm gonna give it one more little stir. It smells really great. Okay, and while it's still hot and still in this pan, because this pan can take it, I have one of these handheld wand blenders. I have to say that I asked for one of these for Christmas or Mother's Day or something, because I spilled one too many pot of boiling beans or other soup that I wanted to pour into the blender to blend, and spilled it and burned myself. This can go directly into a pot of anything boiling, hot soup, and you can pulverize it. All right, so I'm gonna stick it in here and show you what happens, but I don't want you to hear the sound. Well, this is what it sounds like. So applesauce is delicious. It's fun to eat cold from the refrigerator, but it's also really great to give as a gift. If you're going to somebody's house, it's kind of pretty in a jar. So you can package that up, put a bow on it. But right now, I'm gonna have just a little. Do you see the steam? It's warm. It's almost too hot to eat. It's delicious and warm, especially on a nice fall afternoon. And as I eat this applesauce, it has so much flavor and so much texture. I think about what God has poured into us. I think about all the different flavors and varieties, and even sin that has added to the texture of my life. And that God can take every part of those things, all of those things that I've reached for, all of those things that I've wanted more of instead of Him, and He can show me the spots and the parts that are sad, broken, even sinful. And by His love, and sometimes by His heat, He can cook it down. He can blend it up. He can combine it in a way that not only does it bring me health, life, but I can say thank you. So I thank you for joining me, and remember, you're always welcome at the table.